look, man, if you didn't make money this week, if you didn't make money this entire, previous 3 weeks, do not worry. There's plenty of more opportunity to make some money. There's plenty more opportunity. Okay, the rally's not done. I think the Qs can end up getting to 730, 740. But what is going to end up happening in the meantime? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Okay, but just this week we had two over 1,000% just absolute bangers. Okay, just two absolute 1,000% bangers. Huge plays over these past couple weeks, and even more plays. Like that's the thing. Like the market is just going to give you more and more plays in this volatility. Okay, so don't feel like you missed out. There's still a bunch more that is going to end up happening to the upside. We're in a very beautiful market. But what you don't want to do here, is be too overly bullish, because what you have to realize, okay, what you got to realize, okay, now we go higher, like we know we go higher, right? But what just happened? What's the story? Okay, we went up 17%, 17%, okay, we went up 17% in the span of like 3 weeks, okay, absolutely crazy, absolutely huge gains made. Now, what's happening is you're getting a lot of news, right? You're getting, the Iran deal not going through. You even had Trump having an interview saying he's gonna like raise some tariffs in Cuba. Like, I think what's gonna end up happening is there's gonna be some news that comes out, and you have earnings season around the corner. So while we know the market gets to 740, 750, while we know it is a buy the dip market, right now we have went back into a trading market, in my opinion. We'll see come Monday. That's why I'm planning on being live for too long, because really I want to see like some price action. But coming in this week, we have some earnings. We have the ones I'm interested in is United and Capital One, IBM, Tesla, obviously, ServiceNow, okay, Intel, um, American Airlines, American Express. So we're coming into earnings season. Okay, we're coming into earnings season. We're coming into the No Iran deal. We're coming into a lot of good stuff happening. The only thing you have to know, okay, and we say this every single time we go live because people just fail to understand. Okay, put in the comments what stocks you guys look at. Also like this, okay? But people fail to understand we're gonna go higher. Okay, we're gonna go higher. Yes, this was an absolute crazy 3 weeks, and we told you this was gonna get back to all-time highs. Okay, it happened very quickly. Now what you have to realize that the targets that we have to 713 and even like maybe even 760. Okay, huge euphoria is coming into the market. It hasn't even hit the crypto. It hasn't even hit crypto. Okay. Hasn't even hit crypto yet. Okay, like a lot of this stuff, it hasn't even happened. So you can be early on a lot of these things. And look, man, we're in a beautiful market. But anyways, put in the comments the stocks you guys want to look at. We'll look at Robinhood. Okay, we'll look at Robinhood since my boy want to look at Robinhood. Very bullish. Very bullish. Okay, now a lot of people, what we're coming into, like a lot of people now know we're bullish. Okay, back 3 weeks ago, how quickly narratives change, right? Like we had a narrative that was mainly bearish. Like so many people want to be bearish. We came in here every single Wednesday and Sunday and said no, we're going back to all-time highs. Okay, we're very bullish. This is actually where you want to buy the dip, and we made a bunch of money during those 3 weeks. Now what's going to end up happening is you're going to see Robinhood go to 200 plus. Okay, you're going to see Robinhood go to 200 plus. So yeah, on these dips, like we now know Taco is in full effect. Like Trump isn't going through on any of these things. Now what you have to realize is that this is sitting in the same weekly trend we talked about time and time again. Now you just missed it. Now you just missed the insane rally. Okay, that's the only difference. That's the only thing that has changed about what I'm going to tell you right here. This is going to 200 plus. But I remember, some of you guys remember, back in April, tariffs was way down here, and we were able to catch this from $45 all the way to 152. Okay, so what's going to end up happening now? You can catch this from, low as $70. You may even get a brief little pullback, maybe to 80, or with all the news that I believe is going to end up hitting, and maybe even like a pullback. And we need bears, like we need a bearish market. We need a narrative switch, in my opinion, for people to get trapped again. Maybe who knows what the narrative switch would be. Okay, I don't know. Okay, maybe the narrative. I think the narrative has switched. The reason I'm saying that is because you come over here, right? Like we know the market's bullish. Okay, everybody knows the market's bullish, but like 68 greed is crazy. I think this will end up being an extreme greed soon, right? But how soon? Not sure. We also have this literally having like an insane. We went live last Wednesday, and we said how are people bearish right now? Okay, how are people bearish? April 8th. How are people bearish? Why is this so high? Okay, and now you see this thing is taking a massive dip. You see how many more people entered in the calls. Now you have a market where people want to buy the dip, calls, calls, calls. But also you have the no deal you run, and you got a lot of funny stuff happening right now. So be wary, okay? Be wary. But this is very low. This took a steep dip, okay? If ceasefire doesn't hold bad Tuesday, we having a little pullback in. I think we pump. Hood is not going to 200. He said Hood not going to 200. You have no idea what you're talking about. Maybe I don't know have any idea what I'm talking about, right? But every single time, there's just proof. The proof is in the pudding at this point. Like I don't even, like we come on here, and what we talk about ends up just coming true. And maybe I do just come on here and flip a coin, and are we bullish, are we bearish? And then if my coin is tails, I'm saying bearish. I'm full bear during, and then if it's bull, it was heads. So but that coin flip, it's like nine for like it's the coin flip is it's doing really good. Okay, somebody said this is not getting to 200, and little do you know it is going to get to 200. Okay, little do you know. Little do you know this is going to get to 200. We're going to go through a massive euphoric market that it has started, but it's going to get even more crazy. Okay, Pepsi. My boy want to look at Pepsi. What about Weeble? Pepsi, Weeble. I'm not really interested in Pepsi. I'm not really interested in it. But I will say this chart is crazy. The last 4 weeks, like these last 4 week candles are kind of weird in my opinion. Good volume last week, but mainly that was from earnings. So I'm not too sure. Like what I do know is that this needs to continue to hold above 157. That'll be very good for it because then it can start inching to 162, and then above 162, that's when you're gonna get back to 170 and maybe even back to all time high. So I would say as long as it can hold above 157 week by week, you're in good position for then it to get to 162. Above 162, it starts going crazy. Okay. But put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at. We shall look at them. I don't plan on being live for too long tonight. I really don't. I really don't. Okay. I really don't because I want to see how Monday's gonna open. I want to see how Tuesday's gonna open. Obviously we know the market. We know the Qs is gonna get to 730. We know the Qs is gonna go much higher. But could this be a red week? Are bulls gonna get trapped early this week? Are we gonna have a bear trap early this week? We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see a lot of this stuff, and that's the main thing. So I wanna when I'm looking at these stocks, I mainly wanna look the way you're gonna make money. The way you're gonna make money is not necessarily unless you know what you're doing. Okay, a lot of people don't know what they're doing. They sit here and they trade it. They don't know what you're doing. You gotta be doing it for a while. You gotta kind of know have a good feel for it. But I want to ensure that you guys make some money, so I'm gonna mainly be looking at bigger time frame type of things, not what's happening tomorrow. Okay, and I always tell you guys this: I'm not looking at what's happening tomorrow. I'm not looking at what's happening this week because we know the market's going up in the next couple months, in the few months, etc. So I really want to look at what price targets. What are some good stocks? And somebody said Circle, and I think Circle is a great one. Okay, but what Circle has just done is it's just ran into a huge resistance, okay, and it's been doing that, for the past week since Monday. 111 is the resistance point. It kept hitting that, and now it should give a decent sized pullback. How far the pullback could be, maybe back, I like using the fifth, maybe back down to 94, okay. So I would like this to come down to 94, but okay, but there's a big but. If we know Bitcoin, if we know the money from gold, right? Gold went crazy. Okay, gold is probably not going to have a new all-time high, but gold has had a euphoric period, and Trump paid everybody in gold. Then what happened is now we're having an oil euphoria, like Trump paying out the people in oil. Now we're having a Nasdaq and higher risk assets euphoria. And that's just going to transfer into Bitcoin and crypto. Okay, we know Ethereum is going to get to 8 to 10K. Like it's just this is what happens in markets, right? This is what happens. You get to the tail end of bull runs and people start switching into higher risk assets, etc. You have a dollar that people are going to be talking about. The dollar is worthless, right? You have the whole dollar narrative where the dollar is just going to continue to go down and down and down, and you're going to have people, believing inflation is risen, and how do I save my dollars, and or how do I not get infected by inflation, and there's going to be a massive amount of people looking to get into assets. Okay, and couple that in with the majority of people missing, a lot of people missed the rally. A lot of people were sitting on the sidelines on that rally that we had for the past 3 weeks because it happened so quick. But yeah, when we're looking at Circle, I absolutely love it. I say that to say, I think crypto is going to go through an absolutely huge bull run. I think there's going to be some sort of news. Okay, there just is. Okay, there just is. So when I'm looking at Circle, I think Circle can easily get back to 300 plus. Okay, now does it have to get through some certain levels first? Absolutely. It has to get, past 202. Okay, it has to get past 182. It has to obviously get past where it rejected. Which if you don't know the fibs, please just equip the fibs because it basically tells you where these rejection zones are. Okay, how do we know this is gonna reject at 137? Like how do we know this is gonna reject at 137? It's not. Like this is the easy part. You understand? Like figuring out. This is the easy part. The harder part is knowing what the is knowing that the market is either bullish or bearish. When to buy. Is it a time to buy? Is it a time to sell? Figuring out this. Having an IQ. There's people who really thought Trump was gonna come and bomb 90 million people. There's people that really thought on that day. You guys remember? Like it was the last peace deal day. It was the last day of the thing. He was like, they better make a deal, or Trump came on like, I'm bombing 90 million people, and then the market closed. People really thought he was gonna bomb 90 million people. Like people really sold. People really sold. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, there was a 4 or 5% day. A lot of people missed that because they thought Trump was gonna bomb 90 million people for some reason in Iran. I never understand. I'll never understand. So you best believe the market is very bullish. But anyways, I like Circle. I would look for it at $95. MSTR, Baba. Let's look at Baba. Because Baba just went through a massive bounce area. Now, how do you find this bounce area? I mean, I just showed you guys. You come over here, you draw the fib from the low right here to the bottom right here, and you have where it's gonna bounce at. Okay, it bounced there clearly. And China, I think, is going to go through a massive run. But, does this pull back first? Maybe. Earnings in 25 days. Like I said, we're going through an earnings season. Okay, so I don't really want to, and it kind of already ran, and I think it can run more, but I'm not that interested. Now, why has nobody said GFS? Why has nobody said GFS? Like, nobody wants to look at GFS. Nobody even knows what GFS is. But little do they know, this in my opinion is the next Intel type of company. They make American semiconductors, and they're even branching out to do what AXTI does, like the substrates or something like that. I forgot what it's called. Okay, but this is a very not many people are talking about this one. Not many people are talking about it. Okay, but this one can easily start making its way back to 60, even 110, even 159. Okay. Do your research in this one. I think this one could go absolutely crazy. And I mean, you look at what's been happening the past weeks. This has been one of the strongest stocks with what's been happening these past. Literally just sitting here forming a flag. Okay, do your research on this one. This is very good. If you're in the Discord, don't worry. We'll have the exact option that you should get into. Do not worry at all. But put in the contract. I mean, put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at. Marvel is obviously ripping. Circle or MSTR. I like both of them. I would say I like both of them. I don't really have like a either or. Okay, let's look at SoFi. I don't really have an either or, but the SoFi chart has been playing out exactly how we knew it was going to end up playing out, and it's just going to continue to play out how I believe this is going to play out. Now it does have earnings in 10 days. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like earning season's coming up. Earning season's coming up. Okay, you have the FOMC coming up. Okay, you have the no deal year round coming up, and I actually think this pull this if we do get a pullback, I think this would be a decent pullback before we get the earnings rally. And you like, I don't think the rally, I don't think the euphoria period doesn't take that long to develop. Okay, like when we start going into euphoria and the markets start getting extra bullish, which we're entering into right now, they don't take the span of 4 or 5 months or what we've been seeing from 2022 all the way till now. Like they don't have that. Like the euphoria period is the quickest period, and we kind of got a glimpse of that. The past 3 weeks where we literally seen the Nasdaq rally 17%. Um, so yeah, it should be interesting. But I like SoFi. This is obviously an amazing buy right here. Right now is where you want to buy and you want to buy long. Okay, you want to buy and you want to buy long. You have a lot of discounts going on, and this should be the easiest time period to make a whole lot of money for like easily. Okay, and by that I mean we're out of the we're out of this period. Okay, we're out of this huge consolidation period that we've had from October until March. This is a 6 month consolidation period. Okay, if you look at what's been happening, this entire rally, right? That's never happened. We haven't had a 6 month consolidation period this entire rally since I called the bottom down here, right? From this was a decently long one from July all the way until what, October? July to October, 3 months, right? From the peak until right here, 3 months. And then we just had an insane rally, and then this only took place for like a couple months, and then and then rally, and then a couple months right here, and then tariffs, and then you had that huge move. So now we're it's just like, if this doesn't make sense to you at this point, like I really like, look, man, like we come on here a lot, and what we've been talking about on here has been spot on. Like we've caught we came on here, told you to buy the dip every single time, and it's been working. Okay, it's been working. So we told you to buy the dip again right here, and it worked. And now I'm telling you that the Q's has much higher to go. Right, the Q's has much higher to go. And in order to benefit from that move, I don't want people to sit in here like, because there's not a lot of great traders. Like like, let's be honest, a lot of you guys suck at trading. But how you're gonna end up making some money on here is gonna be very simple. You just come on here, right? You just come on here. You go look at SoFi, right? And the thing is, I want to ensure you guys make some money. Like, and I'm not. I want to ensure it, right? So you come on here, you go look at SoFi, and you're bullish on SoFi. Now, obviously, you want to be bullish at the bottom that we had in April 2nd. And this is when I was putting like buy for long hold here, and now it's up, what, $4, and I think it get to $44. This is a megaphone pattern forming, right? So let's just look at a megaphone. But I actually like Robinhood more, but we can look at SoFi. Um, we can look at SoFi. This is not showing what I wanted to show. Maybe it's called something else. Look, this is what I was trying to get at. I don't know what they had me looking at. Yeah, anyway, this is a megaphone. I don't know what this is. Here we go. Like, like I've seen this chart play out. So this is a megaphone. I think SoFi is a good buy. And I think it's gonna end up going higher. Okay, I really do. Now, obviously, you wanted to get down here, but this is still a good entry. Still a good entry. I think you're gonna end up getting something like this that happened back in April tariffs, but even faster, in my opinion. Okay, maybe we get a pullback this week, or maybe the next couple weeks. But I think it's gonna be fast. Okay, it's gonna be fast. It's gonna take place, I think, in the summer, where you're gonna end up getting like $40. Okay. So if I was looking at SoFi, I wouldn't be looking to get roach contracts. I'd be looking to get like some $20 September, not even, like $20 August calls. Okay? And the reason I'm saying that is because this is the same situation that we had back in April tariffs. Okay? Same, not exactly the same, but the same sort of dip buying opportunity. that was present, and we're still in the bull market. So the bull market hasn't ended, right? Like we haven't had that recession type of deal. Like we're getting hidden bull divergences, okay? You know, we're getting and there'll be a time to sell. Don't get me wrong. Like there'll be a time to sell everything, but because this ultimately formed a bear divergence, and like from here to here, and you know then we got that steep drawdown, but you know from this rally, from this hidden bull divergence to this hidden bull divergence, we had a massive rally. From this hidden bull divergence to this hidden bull divergence, I believe we're gonna have a massive rally. And in order to benefit from the larger move, like you want to make sure you're getting longer term contracts because that's where the money's gonna be. Now, of course, you could trade it for, you know, you can get some weeklies on the side, etc. Like you could have been like we got in the Robinhood this week. It made over 1,000%, right? But you can also get some August 110s, and you can just go to work and you can just hang out, and you don't gotta focus on your screen. Okay, so I think we're gonna be massively bullish. Now heading into this week, heading into earnings season, heading into these next couple weeks, I don't know. I'm not sure. But these next 2 to 3 months, I think Robinhood is going to be significantly higher than $90. Okay. Why was volume so low these 2 weeks? Who knows? And to be honest, volume isn't like an indicator that you want to look at that aren't on revert. Like I understand, like if it's like the low, like I like it for lows, but it's not like a telltale for. You know, if it's, I actually like looking at low volume on when we're reversing because that means not a lot. Like, I mean, you know, like I mean, you know, on this huge reversal that we had for the tariffs, like volume was relatively low until you know it was obvious that it was long, right? So, anyways, I don't want to hold you guys up for too much longer, man. Everything is linked in the bio if you need anything. We're going to make an insane amount of money this week. We're going to get into some amazing trades this week. I'm sorry if I couldn't get to every single one of you guys' tickers that you wanted to look at. But trust me, I'll be live again on Wednesday. Okay, I'll be live again on Wednesday. And we'll have more data, more things to talk about. But make no mistake, okay? Don't turn massively bearish, okay? They'll probably maybe we get a nice pullback. I actually hope we get a pullback. I actually hope we come down, you know, maybe to 618 or you know 617. I hope there's some sort of thing that happens like that because then there's going to be more deals. You're going to get more people. You're going to have a narrative switch, right? You're going to have a narrative switch, and that's honestly what I'm hoping for ends up happening instead of you know this like the rally just you know just goes to 713 and then that's it, right? Because I like getting discounts. I like getting, you know, contracts when nobody's thinking of them, right? So that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. But make no mistake, Qs, NASDAQ, the markets in general, crypto especially, massive euphoria is building and building and building. And you want to follow this account because we've been spot on during the whole thing, and we'll be able to, you know, help you when it's time to jump off the boat, time to jump off the ship, okay? Because there will be a time. Like, this thing isn't going to go up forever. Like, you know, this thing isn't going to go up forever. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's the same situation in a lot of the bubbles, you know, a lot of the, you know, when something gets overhyped, like, you know, like, come on, man. Somebody. Anyway, man, it's a topic for a different day. I'll talk to you guys later, man. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm out, man. Peace. Thank you for liking the video as well. Go long. Go long. No roach contracts. No roach. Do not roach. Unless you're like day trading. Like, we're getting into some good day trades, but, you know, that's not going to be the main bag, right?